Hello and welcome to the Emperor's Rejects, your podcast about all things 40K. I'm your host, Kuyo, and here's your co host.
Here's Foster, y'all.
All right. This is going to be our first official podcast. The last one was episode 0, a little sneak peek. We're going to give you a little taste of tea before you give you the whole tea.
We like to test just a little bit.
There we go. We're going to start this episode off introducing you to both of us. My name's Kuyo. I have been playing 40K, I think since 2010. My main armies right now are Imperial Guard. Yes, I refuse to call them Astro Militarum. And I also play Imperial Knights.
Yep.
Um, I think I got into the hobby during high school because of Dawn of War, if I remember correctly.
You guys have no idea how much Dawn of War we played back in the day.
Yeah, we were in a college library, and we were having LAN parties pretty much about 4 days a week. Um,
I think that's pretty conservative.
yeah. They had a crappy IT team there, so they just let us install Dawn of War on several computers, and we were going at it. 4-on-4 matches, free for alls. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I remember we were playing so much at one point that like people were literally skipping classes.
Yes, one guy almost ruined his his graduation because he played so much Dawn of War. Yeah, Winter Assault was a thing.
He just loved the Emperor so much, Kuyo.
But I think Dawn of War was really good for people who weren't introduced to the hobby already and getting them in there. Because before then, I, I had never played any tabletop game. Shiki, one of our other hosts, he was really big into 40K and played it when he was younger.
I was gonna say I remember him describing it. Just punching giant bugs to death and ripping cans apart that were trying to kill you. It was amazing.
But yeah, Dawn of War was a great taste of the flavor of 40K. Really got me into the lore. I think I started reading the books before I bought my first model. My first model was an old clam pack of a Space Marine. And it was before I would even decide to play the game. It was an old pewter model. I think I still have it somewhere in my house. But I would say my first model that I was actually going to play with was a Lemon Rust Executioner.
I think you still use that model, don't you?
Yes, I still do. It's my little keepsake. It's my baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, started playing at a local GW right before they stopped having two people there. They still had a black shirt and a red shirt, and I was the last class they had for their little teach you how to play, teach you how to paint school that they had. Still have my certificate. Look at it every day.
You got to remind yourself of the lessons you learned from the past.
But yeah, about 8 years of playing the game. Was really into it during fifth edition. Sixth edition was pretty good. I think I stopped playing during seventh and started looking at Horus Heresy, and then just stopped for a while and really trying to get back into the tournament scene right now. But I enjoy all aspects of the game.
And I was going to say, a lot of people stopped playing in the seven.
Yeah, I mean invisibility was real.
The worst.
And 2+ rerollable saves will live in infamy.
They're called the Dark Ages for a reason.
So you want to give the listeners a talk through of your war gaming history?
Oh yeah. So this Foster, I started the hobby about the same time as Kuyo and Shiki. I was in on those land parties. Really getting into it. Really loved the Space Marines and the feel of the Space Marines and this elite army coming down. I love the orcs too, but that's because I found them hilarious. I actually started my very first army because when we first started, I was going to college. So my first army was orcs because I got them at a Bits Bazaar for super cheap, and
Who
I
would
had
have wondered?
convinced myself that I could make junk scrap things out of them and You tell yourself one thing like, I'm going to lose, 20 pounds this month, and then you gain 20. So it's kind of how that goes. Yeah.
Just like Travis.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. So played a lot of orcs and ended up, it just wasn't the army for me. There was too many models. So ended up then moving to Space Wolves at the height of the hatred for them in fifth edition.
We were there for their release date. I remember getting the codex on day one.
I remember that too. I think we both picked it up, didn't we?
No, I picked it up and then gave it to you.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because I was poor.
Some things never change.
Right. But it's one of those things that just I love the feel of the Space Vikings and love getting to play with them and riding into battle on the back of giant wolves and punching people with these heavily armored heroes of the Imperium. It was amazing. Yeah,
Great stuff, great stuff. And
yeah.
right now, you're still a Space Wolf player, correct?
I am still a Space Wolf player. I've been really toying around with a new codex,
Even though
really
your
loving
book is
it.
bad.
My book is the absolute worst when it comes to being bad.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you. Wordplay is my friend.
he also has a large number of knights that he'll never ever be able to field,
I have more knights than any sane person should have.
pretty much.
Like, I think I'm up to, I have one unbuilt. I'm looking at one in here, and I know I got at least five or six in my living room.
Sounds nice. We walk for
Yeah.
the Imperium.
When you walk amongst giants, you're never alone.
So yeah,
So,
we've been around for a little bit, almost a decade. We're not that old school, but fifth edition was our big heyday, um, and we've been just been playing in different RTTs. Our area has them pretty much every week. We
yeah,
paint.
we luckily we are blessed with a wide array of tournaments with a lot of really really tough competition.
So we paint, we play. We have another member of the team who likes to make his own codexes and different fan rules.
Yeah, he's also a pretty fantastic painter as well.
Yep, yep. But that's it for the intro right now. We're gonna move over to our other segments, and next up, we're gonna talk about what we're working on.
Yep, yep. So on my desk right now, I'm working on some kill teams. I'm really loving the feel of Death Watch. So I've got two Death Watch kill teams working right now. Uh, an Alpha Legion uh, kill team for our Primaris Marines only. Shh, Belisarius Call knows nothing about it.
They are so loyal, so loyal.
So loyal and so pretty. Um, and then I'm working on also my basic Death Watch Marines. I'm racking my brain how I'm going to get four official frag cannons because yeah, I'm going to be that guy,
Lovely.
and no one will want to play with me. But outside of that, just getting all my wolves nice and painted up. That way, when I go to tournaments, people will know fear.
I see it, and it's gray or blue. I can't remember. You doing gray or blue?
It's like gray blue.
Ah, smart, smart, clever girl.
That's how I work it.
For me, I have several projects that I need to be working on and several that I am. Currently, I just spent 2.5 hours staring at a forum board trying to figure out what I was going to do for Armies on Parade. I'm ultimately, if I said 2.5 hours thinking about what I'm gonna do was way too long, and I'm not really gonna try to go all out on the board. Just something simple, something to put my beautiful painted models on. So, just did a really simple design. Last time I did Armies on Parade, I want to say I focused probably 70% of my effort into the board and didn't, have all the models I wanted on it painted. So I'm gonna try to eliminate that for this year.
What we like to call world building, Kuya.
Yeah, I guess so. Like last time, I built an entire mountain out of stone, like actual stone, and yeah, there was a lot easier way of doing it. But yeah, it was intense.
Well, you like the authenticity.
Yeah, I guess so. So this time it's pretty simple. just gonna do it in the normal basing that I do for the majority of my armies. I'm gonna mess around with a little water effects because I want to give it a like a muddy area, but that's about it for going up and over.
Water effects look really, really nice when done well.
Yeah. Also, I figured out GW water effects. If you have some in your house, throw them away. For people who aren't old school with the game, a long time ago, GW had their own little water effects line. They probably haven't made one of those bottles in what 6 years, 7 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
So,
been a long time.
so I have a really old bottle of their water effects, and I was like, oh, waste not, want not. So I'm gonna use this. Open a bottle and not to over exaggerate, but opening a bottle, I immediately got a headache. Immediate headache from those fumes. I may have killed some brain cells. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow.
Well,
Uh,
and you don't have all that many to spare,
yeah, well,
so.
hey, givers can't be choosers. Wait, that's not the same. Anyway,
That'll prove our point.
yeah, I used it on one of my models. Waited overnight, and it literally just dissolved. There was no water effects left. It just melted into the sand that I had down there. So yeah, I'm gonna chunk that. Then I'm gonna go to the doctor next week to find out if I'm dying.
I pray for you, brother.
But other than the board, I have three knights that I need to paint. I have a castigator that has been sitting in my display case for probably 3 years.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so now that Forge World models are worth gold, I'm gonna go ahead and paint them. I'll probably throw him up on eBay when I'm done because I don't see myself really using the castigator in this edition.
yeah. Just from my experience with knights, the Forge World ones are not really worth the time in
E-
current 40K.
Except the Lancer. The Lancer's boss.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always going to have the one diamond in the rough.
Yeah, but I can't really see a lot of gameplay out of the other ones. For
Yeah,
example, the Castigator is his gun is all it is
it's just the Avenger Gatling
yeah,
gun.
there we go. The Castigator, all it is the Avenger Gatling cannon. Like it's the same profile if I remember correctly. Strength 6, -2, 2 damage.
Like I said, it was so bad. I stopped paying attention.
Yeah. So why take it when it's so much more points,
Yeah,
and you get minor upgrades compared to the regular knight. But anyway, it's gonna get painted. It looks badass, so that's all that counts. So it'll be on the board for next week. So there's gonna be a lot of painting ahead of me.
yeah. The life of a 40K player.
Okay. So let's move over to our main topic. I want to go over just some main things from the FAQ that's going to affect our armies and what we really think is going to change up the meta.
Yep. I'll be honest with you. I want to start off with a jump pack, Kuya.
Uh oh. Uh oh. You and your slam captains.
Well, my slam lords. Okay, we're not captains. We're
Oh
lords
yeah,
now.
that's right. Yeah,
Gonna need you to get that right.
got your coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, the jump pack change is a welcome one and a detrimental one at the same time.
Oh, my guardsmen welcome it.
No, I know your guardsmen welcome it. That's why it's detrimental to me. Yeah, it's one of those things. We got to look at balance of the game, right? And I agree that the jumping off of a building 0 inch charge, that was unbalanced, completely unbalanced.
Yes, the magical. Hey, I move 0 inches teleportation.
Yeah. Hey, I just landed,
Mm,
and
mm.
this is crazy.
What? What?
Yep, you just lost a night now, maybe.
Uh, uh.
Yeah, no, that was insane. Losing a 450 point model to a 120 point guy just jumping down on top of him. screaming to Valhalla, while amazing, was ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you that. But the other ridiculous thing is that now I can't jump over units while I am charging you.
And well, sometimes you have to take the good with the bad. They saw how ridiculous it was to have the 0 inch charge from terrain. And let's explain it to the listeners just in case they didn't understand. One of the big exploits you could do with any person on the jump pack or with the with the fly rule, they could deep strike on a piece of terrain like a ruins and be, let's say, 9 inches horizontally and 2 inches vertically from a knight or any unit that they want to charge.
I think you need to reverse that. It need to be 9 inches vertical, 2 inches
Damn that
horizontal.
water effects. Okay, yeah, that. So in a normal game of 40K, you would have to add up the 9 inches and the 2 inches to do your charge rolls. Well, before the FAQ, any unit with a jump pack can just say, "Oh, I'm only 2 inches away from you because I ignore the vertical distance."
Yeah. And while that is amazing, and I will, full disclosure, I have used it before.
Yeah, so
And
that means that there was no way for you to guard against a jump pack marine or someone with the fly key rule if you were standing next to a ruin or a piece of terrain like that. They could just
as
jump up
Mr.
there.
as Mr. Miyagi once said, when done right, no can defend.
No can defend.
Yeah.
So GW saw that and was like, we're gonna 86 that, and instead said, okay, you have to, you don't ignore vertical for charges, only during the movement phase. So because of that, now you can't jump over screening units because you can no longer do that during the charging phase.
Exactly. And that's where I've got issues. Again, I completely agree that it was a major issue kamikazing off the top of a building onto your opponent. It was a
Hmm.
major issue.
So
But are you telling me right now that a bunch of guards are going to grab my feet as I'm flying over them?
I'm gonna tell you, my guardsmen will because they fight for the emperor. Okay, they see someone jumping over them to attack their assets, they're gonna be like, no, no.
All that brings to my mind is a whole bunch of guardsmen creating a cheerleader pyramid trying to tackle a space marine out of the sky.
And now I know what I'm gonna do for armies on parade.
Well, I'm here to help.
Hmm.
But no, like I said, this for me is a bigger issue because it's not just about space marines. I mean, yeah, I mean, I play my Smash Lords and I enjoy them, but things like Mortarion or Magnus, you're telling me right now they couldn't just literally use those giant wings that they have to fly over guardsmen?
Nope. You gotta kill every last man before you get to my Russes or my Castellan or my no. You can charge my knights. That's fine. Whatever.
No,
Just not the
no,
Castellan. Just don't charge him.
yeah. But even then, think about it. Like whatever guys you got out in front, I've got to go through every last one of your guardsmen, every last one. And right now, because you're a smart player, you'll just keep moving more guardsmen in front.
Hmm. No, hey, that's
So
the breaks, kids.
all this is done for melee armies is made it harder to take out the knight, and it's made the knight even better. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually thinking of investing in a ton of guardsmen to put in front of my Castellan.
Well, now you're playing 40K, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, the big change that I want to talk about is, well, if you're not surprised, me being a guard player is a CP farming. I was doing it before it was cool, before everyone was adding guard to their list. I was playing, um, the Aquila and Grand Strategist. Before the FAQ, a guard player could roll a 5 up and get command points back whenever they spent it. And also, when your opponent used a stratagem on a 5 up, they could get 1 command point. So
Absolutely disgusting.
I could steal one whenever you used one, and I could refund myself whenever I used them. So there were some games where I would end the game with, an extra 9 command points. There were some games where I would gain maybe two. So I mean, it was really good. But I think what pushed it overboard was some players started doubling up on units that allowed you to refund. So there's a blood angel stratagem. Sorry, there's a blood angel warlord trait, I believe, or is it a relic?
I want to say it's a warlord. I want to say it's a relic. I want to say
Okay.
it's a relic.
Okay. Well, there's something from the Blood Angel book that allows you to do the same thing. So what some players were doing was saying, "Hey, I use 3 CP, so I'm gonna roll 6 dice to see how many I get back. 3 from the Imperial Guard Warlord trait, and 3 from the Blood Angel's relic. So now there's a chance that I refunded myself more command points than I spent, which was ludicrous to me.
Yeah. Now I want for our listeners out there that have never had the pleasure of fighting against the farm. I want you to understand something from the opposite end, from a man who doesn't play guard all that often, who doesn't have a lot of guards. I want you to understand that every time I played against my friend here, I would throw down a stratagem, and it was, let me see if I got that back every single time. And I think one game you actually ended up with more CP than you started.
Well, I mean, that was a fluke. I was rolling hot.
Now, I know, but I'm saying you started that game with 13 CP and ended with 14 somehow.
Yeah, well, hey, if ifs and buts and sugar and nuts, we'll all have Merry Christmas.
So, but that is ultimately why GW had to say no more to you, good sir.
So the fact that addressed this is now called tactical restraint. And the basics of it is saying that you can only ever get back 1 command point per battle round. So when it's your turn, I can only refund myself 1 command point, and if I'm trying to steal it during your turn, I can only steal one. They have a couple of exceptions to it. Let me take a look at it. So things like feeder tendrils or agents of Vect.
But nobody's going to use Angels Effect now.
Oh well, yeah, that took a nerf, but it was needed. Agents of Vect was a little bit too strong in the meta, but hey, dark Eldar people don't hate me.
Well, they hate everybody.
No, well, yeah, because they're dark Eldar.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, tactical restraint I think is a good thing for the game. Yeah, it's cutting down on CP farm. So now if you really want to take grand strategist, you're probably only going to get one per turn. But I mean, one per turn is still more CP.
Now, I mean, there are some things that still get to use it, but they're so specialized.
Yeah,
Um, Now, I do want us to say this. Um, Also note that this does not apply to command points that are gained or refunded as specifically instructed on grand stratagems, as Kuyo said earlier, or things like sevenfold chant.
yeah,
Um, but again, these are so specialized or they're so expensive that it's not going to become an issue.
yeah,
It's not free.
yeah. So there's that. Anything other major changes to the FAQ that you want to talk about?
No, because to be honest with you, I mean this was a big FAQ. It changed a lot of the things that we really thought about. The only thing that I really worry about from this is prepared position.
And I think that's an amazing strategy.
As a melee player, I look at that and I say, well, I didn't bring a whole bunch of shooting today. So the little bit of shooting I did bring just got nerfed to the ground for 2 CP.
Yeah, well, they'll show you. Bring
Yeah,
more guns. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
I guess. Because they took away all the knives in 40K,
Well,
gave us nerf bats.
Well, I am ready to tell my opponent that I have a entire battalion of lemon russes with 2-up saves,
Ugh, disgusting.
and I'm using battalion in the normal way, not actual battalion in 40k. Just
Yeah.
words.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that this FAQ has changed the game any? Do you think it's going to change our top table?
Uh, Maybe the tactical restraint thing really is going to change. Um, I think the tactical restraint is going to change if people just automatically put in 32 guardsmen into their list just to get the farming.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, yeah, and they're probably not gonna double. Well, yeah, there's no reason to double up on having Blood Angels and Imperial Guard have farming, so you're gonna be able to give them different things or just take different units.
I'll be honest with you. I actually think Blood Angels are going to be left behind.
Yeah, they might.
Well, the way I look at it is this: the big thing that the Blood Angels brought with them was 5 CP from having two Smash captains and 3 5-man squads of scouts. But you weren't taking the scouts because scouts are good. You were taking the scouts because it's the only way to get the extra 5 CP.
Yeah,
But now, why would you bring more guys that cost so much if those guys will never get to their target?
true.
I would rather see what I can bring more knights.
Maybe.
Think about it this way: a Helverin, two Helverins cost roughly about as much as the uh, the Blood Angels group did. And if anybody's bringing Smash Captains, all you have to do is put a good chunk of cheap guardsmen in front of them, and they're just going to blow those Smash Captains to bit by dealing 3 damage with each successful hit.
Well, the answer is always to bring more guardsmen. So,
Right? I agree with you in this instance. I actually don't think all I think this did was I think it took the Blood Angels out of the equation and said you need more guardsmen.
I guess we'll see. We'll take a look at the new top table lists once there's another event
Yeah,
post fact.
which should be within the next month or two. We'll be able to see what this FAQ did to some of our top players.
Yeah. All right. I guess if you all have any ideas, you can leave it in the comment section below. We're gonna post this on YouTube so you can interact with us. Let's hear what you
Yeah,
have to say.
we want to hear what you guys have to say. If you disagree, let us know. If you agree, let us know. Either way.
Okay. All right. Our next section of let's talk about the boob monster.
Yeah, the boob monster in the corner.
I'm very excited for it. If you haven't seen it, GW released a pretty funny video talking about leaks and grainy pictures and how one of the sprues of the new Slaanesh Fiend got leaked. And then they just went ahead and showed us the complete model of the Fiend.
Yeah, and when I first saw this complete model, I felt like Robin Williams in Jumanji, yelling out, "What year is this?"
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I thought Slaanesh was dead for GW. I thought they were going for a more family friendly vibe and was going to tone down all the sexuality and just like leave that fluff in the dust.
You know what I'm loving about GW lately is I feel like I'm in a car with a driver that just wants to go fast sometimes, and then others it's not. One minute you're talking about all these kid friendly books for 40K, and you're talking about your heroic space marines, and there's nothing sexual here, and then out of nowhere you got this thing.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this model yet, it is pretty ridiculous. Half of the model has huge anime titties. The other half has pecs like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
So it's
it
giving you
is
the best of both worlds.
it is the buffest monstrosity I've seen in a while.
Yeah. And they went nipple. They freed the nipple. I was very surprised at that.
Well, and when I look at this thing, I look at GW's traditional, great sculpting is looking. It's a nice looking model.
Yeah.
But
Terrifying.
yep, terrifying indeed, my friend.
So, hopefully we see more from Slaanesh. If the rumors are correct, there's going to be a Slaanesh and new Slaanesh models for AOS.
Hmm.
So we're probably going to get a greater demon, like they did with the Nurgle and
Actually, you know what I'm kind of hoping we get here?
what's that?
I'm hoping because we're supposed to be getting sisters next year. I'm hoping we get a box set.
Hmm.
I'm hoping we get sisters versus Slaanesh.
Okay.
I want space nuns to obliterate the perversion.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, people have been complaining a lot that it's just you've got a box set and it's oh look at it, it's just the Primaris Marines again versus Faction X. I think this would be a perfect way for GW to mix things up while staying fluffy and narrative wise and introducing these brand new models to 40K.
Okay. Okay. I'm listening.
And then in that way I can find somebody who wants to play Slaanesh so I can go halvesies with them so I can start up a new army and get in more trouble with my wife.
Wonderful.
You gotta ride the line.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, hey, I'm ready to accept Slanesh as my savior. So whenever she is ready to drop, I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about the Slaanesh models. They are you look at corn models and they're terrifying. You look at Nurgle models and they're disgusting. You look at Slaanesh models and I'll be honest, sometimes I'm just like, what am I even looking at?
Hmm.
And I think that's what they're intended to be. You have no idea what I'm supposed to be.
Beautiful. But aside from the Slanesh preview, we also got a commercial about the orcs. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't watch the commercial immediately because at first I thought YouTube was glitching on me, and that really wasn't a video from Games Workshop. And it took a while to get the joke of, it's like a car commercial, blah blah blah. But they had the new orc jet thing flyer. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but just talking about it makes me want to forget about Space Nuns.
Okay, well there you go. No more space nuts. Uh, all the stuff that they've previewed so far about orcs have been very speed freak. We've got the amazing biker, Mad Max vehicles, truck things, just wagons, and then the new one that looks like it just looks like a giant turbine.
I'll be honest with you. Every time I look at these new orc models, I think to myself, let's go to Fury Road.
Yeah, yeah. So the video is called Flight Redefined. Um,
I just I'm looking at them right now, and this is amazing.
yeah. So
Like I've
Orkt.
been wanting to play a Xenos race, and I might have to get back into old orcs.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely will be fun. Yeah, Orktober has started. They're kind of piecemealing it. Um, having given us a lot, just a little taste of what the orcs are going to be about. And it looks like it's really focused on speed freaks currently.
Well, I mean, let's face it. You've got the new orc side game coming out with models that you can use in GW.
Yeah,
You've got let's face it, people love vehicles.
yeah, that's true.
And one of the things that actually drew me to orcs early on was the idea of these roving, orc biker gangs just shooting things up.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I may not be able to start it up, but I definitely want to play against it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get an orc kit, at least paint it up. I don't see myself as an orc player, but I I have some orcs that I'm gonna do for kill team, and at some point I bought orcs for myself. I guess that's just a problem with all people who are in the game long enough. Eventually, you'll have a sprue of pretty much every army.
Well, and I find that too. I was going through my sprue kit the other day. I was like, I don't ever remember picking this up. Like when did I get this?
But we'll see. We'll keep you in touch with what's happening with Orktober. And hopefully we see some nasty, nasty stuff and something that's gonna mix up the meta.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I guarantee you're going to see nasty stuff that's going to mix up the guarantee. Because remember we were talking earlier about the jump.
Yeah,
Well, orcs have that, but they also have the weight of bodies behind it to make it dangerous.
true.
So I guarantee you're going to see biker boys coming in. You're going to see jump pack boys coming in. They're stronger than your guardsmen. It's just going to really depend on how many points.
Okay. Hopefully the green tide rolls over everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I've heard lots of rumors. Um, I've heard of things of orcs getting to come off the field and teleporting back on. I've heard things about orcs getting their double fighting like a lot of other people. And, for, you know, you got things coming in. On the Space Marine side, yeah, a lot of Space Marines aren't all that terrifying in close combat, even though their fluff says they should be. But pretty much every orc outside of a Luda boy, from my experience, has been terrifying in close combat.
Yeah. And as a guard player, everything is terrifying in close combat. So
Yeah, pretty much. Does it does it blow really hard? Then I guess it's terrifying.
yeah, fifth edition, I was afraid of regular Space Marines in combat, and then I finally figured out, oh no, they suck. They only get one attack. Strength four.
Isn't that crazy? When you really think about it, I'm a genetically modified super soldier who attacks you just as much as a little man.
Okay, well, we can discuss that on a different podcast.
Yeah, yeah. We
but
we could talk for days on this.
but looks like we're gonna wrap up this episode. I hope you all enjoyed listening to us. We have been the Emperor's Rejects. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment and all that other good YouTube junk.
And if you guys want to hear us talk about anything in particular, just let us know. We'll see if we can work into our rotation.
All right. As always, the Emperor protects.